What's up, everybody? Lynx Ambassador Colton Sturm here. I'm with the 2023 Lynx Xterrain RE 3700. This one is the 850. I'm going to try to go over this really quick and try to cover as many questions as I can quickly. So the front end on this sled is the same front end as a RE. All right, so it's the same width, same shock package, same skis. Really makes it aggressive on the trail. Absolutely loved it. It was super stable on the trails. Never really pushed in the turns. Extremely impressed with that. Off trail, never had an issue with holding an edge on it either. Like in a side hill in deep snow, I could get it on edge and it would stay there. So it's a 3700, so it's a 146. It's very hard to see here, but in the back of the rails here, right about in there, they tilt up some. So on trail on a hard pack surface, your actual track pressure, like track length, I guess track pressure is about the same as that RE, so it doesn't push the front end really at all. But then when you're off trail, you have that full length 146 behind you, just eating and moving you. 2-inch paddle. Awesome setup here. Really impressed. Has the PPS3 rear skid, so same as the RE, same shock package like I already mentioned, so it eats the bumps alive on the trail. Off trail, it's so much fun. Big question I get asked all the time, does it wheelie? Yes, it is a wheelie monster. So that's all you need to know about the wheelie segment on this thing. The thing is so fun to do wheelies on, but then in the turns, it holds its own there. It's pretty impressive. This rear bumper is super burly. Never knew I needed these. I pack my bag up, you know, and sometimes I start adding stuff to it. These are nice little tie hooks to it, you know, for bungee cords or straps or whatever. Running boards are a little bit more narrow. They tilt up. Great for snow evacuation. Doesn't start, you know, putting pressure on the snow when you are trenching or really letting her eat. Biggest thing I noticed from jumping off the RE onto this is it does sit taller. Taller paddle, also a little bit taller chain case, so it does sit up. And with those running boards angling up that way, you definitely feel it in your feet. I mean, you sit up taller, more like a mountain sled in that aspect. But I really liked it on the trail, in the way it would sit you in the seat. You know, it was extremely aggressive yet. Comes with a little bit taller windshield, taller bar riser. You know, you got the grab bar on there too. Front bumper is extremely burly. I've hit and smashed a lot of stuff with it, and I have yet to bend the bumper or damage anything inside. So I really like that they did that, because, you know, up in the UP, we do smash into some, you know, smaller trees when we don't really have an option. So that thing is extremely burly. What else? Most common question is to compare this to a backcountry. I don't really like to compare sleds like that. The backcountry is an amazing snowmobile. It is a little bit more narrow in the front end. But just to answer that one and get it out of the way and get it done with, in my opinion, this is just a much more robust crossover sled. Plain and simple. That's the way I feel with this shock package and the PPS3 in it. The thing is an absolute monster of a sled. It is so much fun. I just want to keep riding it, but our snow is quickly going. At least it's snowing right now though, so hopefully we get some more and we can get back on this thing, because I absolutely love it. Yeah, that's a pretty quick overview of this machine. Extremely impressed with it. Extremely agile on the trail. I was cutting around all those tight turns really good. You know, I don't think a guy can ride it as fast as a RE. I could be wrong. I'd love it if somebody proved me wrong. You know, the RE sits a little bit lower. I mean, that thing is more for trail. If you're a guy that wants to spend 80% of your winter on the trail and you're going to go sack, you know, 5,000 miles on your sled, the RE is probably the the one for you. If you want to do 50-50, this is going to be a good sled for you to play on trail, off trail. You can keep up with all your buddies on the trail with this thing all day long. And then if you want to go off trail, endless fun on it. You could take this thing out west, you can take it up into the deep snow up in the UP whenever they get really good snow, and it's going to hold its own. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way I tell people, is if you're going to do 50-50, this is probably the sled for you. If you're a guy that wants to spend most of your time off trail, then obviously this thing is a monster. But if you do find yourself, you're going to be on the trail with your buddies every now and then, and if they're rough trails, this thing's going to eat those whoops alive. I put it through the same rough conditions that I would on the RE, and it handled it just as well. I was extremely impressed with that. I thought the longer track would possibly make it not as good of a handling sled in the rough conditions, but it definitely was just as good as RE. So very impressed with that. Yeah, that's a pretty simple overview of this sled. Hopefully it answered any of your questions. If you haven't spring checked one yet, you probably should do it. There's only 2 days left. If you're watching this and it's not spring check season, that's too bad. Hopefully you ordered one, but if you didn't, there's always next year. So this sled is amazing. Definitely just smiles for miles with it. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions at all, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, Colt801. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have. Also on Facebook, I'm on those links pages quite a bit, trying to help answer the questions the best I can anyways. But yeah, feel free to reach out if you have any other questions about these machines. Hopefully we get a little bit more snow here. If not, there's always next winter, and I can't wait. I mean, I just cannot wait to get back on this thing, do wheelies, play off trail, go put a bunch of miles on this thing. So yeah, next winter is going to be ruthless on this, and I'm so excited. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this answered some good questions. Yeah, see you guys next winter.